not about being perfect, it's about admitting when you're wrong and striving to do better. This is day 17 of Day 1 Diaries, and today I'm going to share, or rather, confess my failures or the habits that have given me the worst setback of all. From being the topper of the class to not getting admission anywhere. This is definitely a bad kind of journey that nobody should ever experience, but I did. Therefore, here I am, pouring out my feelings and taking responsibility that yes, I have invited failure for myself. First and foremost, I'll start with my nature and behavior, habits, character, or whatever you name it. I have always been an arrogant child with overflowing overconfidence, most of the times being the dominant one, considering myself superior with the belief that I'm one of a kind or I'm different, and in the process, somewhere thinking of others my age as inferior to me. I've had a habit of bragging much about myself, being boastful, stubborn, and arrogant or adamant. Next, I've always been the one to hype up at the start of something new and then back to square one within 2 days. I'm extremely undisciplined, lazy, pessimistic, with no self control whatsoever. I admit this publicly that yes, I'm the most dumb person of all time, and that in reality I have no confidence of myself. But it's all a show to make others feel that I'm superior and super confident and great. I have zero discipline, self control, self esteem, and self respect. I consider myself the most laziest being in the whole world. Next, I have always been a thinker but never a doer. I preach to others but haven't practiced much of it ever. I make excellent plans mentally but have never executed even half of it physically. My inability to stick true to my words or even be true to myself, and that has led my self trust to depreciate. If I cannot keep promises to myself, how can I be sure that I'll fulfill my word to others? Instead of thanking God for His faithfulness towards me, I have always been the one to complain, crib, and cry. I have never had an attitude of gratitude. Instead of being content with what I have and being thankful for it, I have always complained about the wrongs and never been satisfied or happy that at least I have my basic needs fulfilled and taken care of. I have always been pessimistic and thinking only about the negatives about everything. When it comes to trusting in God, I trusted in man, and that has been my biggest mistake ever. I trusted man more than God and put all my belief in man instead of confirming it with God or with His word. Even during my boards, I wasted my time comparing myself with others. I kept record of my competitors' academic progress instead of keeping track of my own. I didn't study since day one, that kept increasing my backlog. Till the end, I didn't study sincerely and wasted my time complaining about not enough resources and how the teachers didn't teach. I fooled my family that I was studying, but I only kept reading shit and wasting my time and energy. Even until the last month before final exams, I didn't touch my books. Now that I think of it, if without studying properly I could score 80%, how much more could I have scored if only I sincerely studied since the beginning of college, or even in the last few days before exam? At least I would have scored my target score and wouldn't be landing into problems now. This is the biggest and most brutal setback ever. I made a similar mistake during 10th, and now even in 12th I repeated it a million times worse, and therefore I declare that I have been the biggest fool ever. I not only repeated my mistakes, but repeated them a million times worse than before, intensifying their degree of damage in the process. There are many more things that I didn't listen to my family, never studied properly, crammed up in the end, didn't read my textbooks or pay attention to lessons, and the list goes on and on and on. And this is my brutal, raw, and honest confession. And no, I'm not doing this so others can learn and not do any of it. No, no, not at all. My intention is purely to admit my mistakes, realize them, and be accountable for them. Of course, if others learn from them, it'll be good for them. But my sole intention is not to preach anything to others, as I am yet to realize all of my mistakes and come to a complete confession and realization. I don't want to be the one telling others or preaching to others when I am in the process of correcting myself in the first place. This is solely my confession, where I am holding myself accountable and responsible for all my failures until now. Nothing more, nothing less. And I feel that that's it for today.